Hey guys, it's M4J here, and welcome back to M4J-Hatfield Racing here on F1 2021. We are in Spain, Viva España. We're here for the Spanish Grand Prix, second race of the season. You remember last time out, which was 2 weeks ago, it's supposed to be last week, but it was 2 weeks ago. We were in Bahrain, and we came 11th, I believe, which wasn't too bad, all things considered. But I was hoping to build on that performance this week in Spain. But those of you who have watched the channel before and have seen me play F1, you'll know that Spain isn't actually a track I'm very good at. And straight away in P1, I proved that by spinning on a corner that I don't think anyone has ever crashed on ever, and slamming it into the wall. And I think I had damage turned to the maximum at this point as well. And because of that, front wheel, front wing, front everything broke, and I was out of the session. I didn't even set a time. Louis Delatraz wasn't last, actually. He beat Mazepin, so there's progress. So that was the end of P1 for me. P2 then, as my editor has just told me in the bottom corner there. And we start off down the pit straight here. Round turn 1. Round turn 2. Already running wide. Round turn 3. For those of you who don't know, I work as the social media producer for Racing Games, and we do lap guides. It's one of the things we specialise in for F1, and I actually recorded the lap guide for Spain as well. So I did Spain and Bahrain. Bahrain I did okay at. Actually, I did Hungary as well, but we'll come to that later in this this series. Bahrain I did okay at, both track guide and race. Spain I did all right in the track guide recording. I was driving a Williams round, but I guess the problem is I record these races just after I recorded the track guide, because I thought, oh, I know the track now, that'd be good. But what you forget is you don't know the car. So I drove around in a Williams, which is very, very different to a Season 1 My Team car. And because of that, immediately struggled. Although I've managed to put together a half-decent lap here. I wouldn't call it a great lap, but this closer I'm actually okay with. A lot of people complain about the chicane in Spain. I'm glad for it, although I've mucked it up a little bit there. My memory seems to be letting me down here. And then we come across the line here, and we set an actual lap time, people. We did a lap. Not only did we do a lap, it was the fastest lap of the session. But then we're the only car out on track, so that might be why. And then straight away, I bin it in the wall again. This is not really going very well for me so far. And it's kind of painting a picture as to how this is going to be. Oh, thank you, Tom, for fast-forwarding that one for me. That was good. So yeah, bottom of the pile again once everyone else actually went out and set times. Not my best moment. P3 then, looking to actually try and put some laps out this time. We got one done so far in 2 practice sessions. Let's see if we can actually get a series of laps done. I don't know what it is about Spain that I don't like. I think it's because the corners, in theory, you can take flat out so long as you've got a good line going into them. But at this point in time, I was still learning the game, so my line is all over the place. And here, for example, I think I throttled like 3 different times to try and get out of that corner. And because of the downforce, just had no grip. And it really, really screwed me over. Braking points and things I'm actually okay with. I can still find those. And I can throw the car around a little bit in places where it lets you. But corners like this one, for example, you can run a little bit wide. You're supposed to be able to take that relatively flat. A little bit of lift and coast at the start. And then you plant it for the DRS. And I've just been struggling with that the whole time, not just in these opening races, but throughout my F1 2021 career. Every time I play it online with the guys, I'm all over the place. I managed to successfully crash a car on the start line at Monza in a live stream. And I think that's my most embarrassing thing I've ever done on a live stream, to be honest. Literally went 3, 2, 1, go. I gunned it and lost control and went straight into the left-hand wall. Not my finest moment, believe me. Did set a lap time there, though, which I was very, very happy with. And we come round for the end of the second lap here, and I'm actually breaking the lap time. But then I break the front wing. You might wonder why I chose to use that terminology there. That's why, because I knew the front wing damage was coming. So, yep, another pit stop. Was it? Nope, because I hit the wall, because I had no steering, because I had no front wing. And that's the end of P3. It's little rookie mistakes like that where, believe me, if you're sat there watching this and you're getting annoyed at me for crashing like that, just imagine how I feel actually doing that. I didn't read what that said there, but I think Tom's made a montage to make fun of me here. So let's sit back and watch this for a second, shall we? Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I remember some of this. Oh, boy. Yep. Yeah. Again, at this point, I hadn't learned about what it's like to cook the rear tyres and how bad that can be. And there's another spin and another wall tap. And then another spin. Because, again, you light up the rear tyres and they just turn into treacle, basically. So you have no grip whatsoever. And then, yeah, just not a very good day in the office. This. I think I was using controller still at this point. And I was just getting more and more irate with the way I was driving the car. I think it was at this point where I thought, I need a wheel. I do need a wheel. And that story I just told you about Monza and hitting the wall, that was with a wheel. So the wheel didn't really help, to be honest. It didn't make a massive difference. Is this another spin? Yep. There's another spin. Just kept losing it on the curb. Here we are, though, in qualifying. Actually, no, we're still in practice. Qualifying pace program started. How are we still in practice? I don't actually know. Maybe I used flashback. That might be something that happened. Because I did have flashback turned on at this point as well. And I did ask Tom to edit out the flashbacks. So maybe that's why I've just completely forgotten I had flashbacks. We are still in P3 though. So yeah, coming around this corner here. I hate this corner so much. I actually crashed. So in F1 2020 I crashed coming out of this corner. I spun. And then coming back onto the track, I think it was Leclerc, just completely smashed into my side. Because I thought he was going to avoid me and he didn't. My fault, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming AI Leclerc. But yeah, not a great track, this one for me. I actually enjoyed watching the Spanish Grand Prix this year, which is something I didn't get to say last year. It was a bit dull last year. But this year, it was actually quite entertaining. The new Turn 10 definitely helped out with that. But it's a weird track because it looks like a really good one to drive. But it's just not very exciting to watch. And, you know, when I do laps in isolation, I do enjoy myself driving around here. But trying to do successive laps successfully, not much fun. And you see there I dropped out of the ideal pace. And once you drop out of the ideal pace, it's very, very hard to actually get it back. So you see I went and had another go. And then apparently I crashed there too. So then this must be qualifying. Yes, it is. So this is Q1, the start of qualifying, and it's wet. So as if it was hard enough completing laps on this track, they've then gone and thrown weather into the equation as well. So here I am on intermediate, coming down the pit straight. Already this is going to be like a rally stage because of the weather, and now I've got to try and piece together a half decent lap as well. Turn 1 and Turn 2 there actually went okay. I stayed on the line. Turn 3 here, which is meant to be taken flat normally, providing you've got reasonable downforce. See that I kind of navigated my way around it. I am recording this with my audio on mute, by the way, so if there's sound effects and stuff going off, or music playing or whatever, I don't hear it. I should probably watch these before I start recording the voiceovers. But yeah, oh well. Lesson learned for next time. Here comes the problem corner then. You see I'm staying well clear of that curb and I still lose the back end there. Somehow managed to save it. Going around the right-hander here just before what would be a DRS straight if it wasn't absolutely throwing it down. Up to old Turn 10. Again, that's not a bad line through there actually. Kind of impressed. This bit here that just throws your car to the moon if you get it wrong. Around this long right-hander, which again, I actually messed up there. I was about to say I tend to do okay on this little section. It gets a little bit twisty, and it's one of the only twisty sections on the calendar that I can actually navigate. Although that right-hander can be a little bit tricky, that long right-hander where I did lose the back end. And here we go then across the line. So I was actually under pace considering my first lap. And I think, where did I put it? Dead last, okay. I thought I put a decent lap in there, actually. I can't remember what happened. I guess everyone else just went faster. I do need to turn down the AI still. At this point, I was still recording with a very, very high AI. and he did kind of sneak up on me and slap me when I wasn't looking. But yeah, not the worst qualifying. The rain as well. It's the second race of the season, and it's throwing it down, and you're trying to get to grips with the car still. Bear in mind that, as I said, I've been playing lots of other game modes in F1. I started online before I did my team this time around. I've also been doing a co-op career, and you kind of just forget how bad the My Team car is in the first season, and it's only when you come up to a braking zone and you stamp the brake and nothing happens that you suddenly realise, oh crap, I'm not actually going to stop here, and at that point it's, you know, which part of the wall is it you'd like to hit. Not great. I'm making excuses as well, I'll admit. Basically I am kind of rubbish still, learning but still rubbish. And yeah, this is a really long cutscene. I always forget how long it is. I'm amazed they actually put me in the race suit to get in the car, to be honest. I figured they would just put me out in like bike shorts or something and be like, okay, son, off you go. We'll see you in 5 minutes when you crash on the formation lap. And I am talking over Crofty here, I know, but I don't care. I'll turn him down for this. Here we go then, starting grid. So Bottas starting first, which is quite a rare event in-game. In real life, it's a bit more frequent now, although we won't talk about Mexico. Hamilton second, Verstappen, and then Ricciardo. Norris, Perez. I think I'll let Crofty take over at some point here. And then in fact, I could just unmute the audio.
Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda, and Ocon, Raikkonen, Mick Schumacher, Antonio Giovinazzi, and George Russell, Delatraz, Latifi, Mazepin, and the engineer. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
The engineer, right at the back. Here we go then, Spanish Grand Prix, starting in 22nd place, and we're off. And immediately we get the jump on Mazepin, we leave him for dust. We're sending it up the inside, which is something I'm always scared of doing. Particularly tracks like Monza, where if you send it up the inside, you're basically a dead man walking. I decided to give Latifi a little love tap there, and because of that, damaged the front wing. Now I'm sending it up the outside of turn 3, I think this is. Oh no, turn 2. No, it's turn 3, I think. 1, 2, yeah, turn 3. Now turn 4. And again, struggling a little bit there, but still in competition. That was a nice maneuver there on Mazepin again. And then sending it up the inside of Latifi and then hit Russell. And didn't exactly do Russell any favours there. I think I used flashback at this point to try and do better. And I did do better. I didn't hit Russell this time. I hit Latifi. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now. Thank you, Jeff. Not my finest racing there, that's for sure. I nailed the pit entry this time at least, so I was happy about that. And it's time for my regulation opening lap wing change. I think my wings are getting changed. My left front tyre there doesn't look like it's in particularly good condition. So I think that's one of my problems. Is I started with AI too high. And I've also pushed myself too much because I know how good I was on F1 2020, and I've tried to replicate that in 21, and it was just never going to happen. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. Thank you again, Jeff. So yeah, it just wasn't really. My expectations were far too high compared to my ability, and you can see there I've just cooked the rear tyres again. Same corner, didn't hit the wall this time, so I'm happy about that. But really not a good moment for me. And then the dreaded blue flags come out. Very early on in the race still. And you're getting blue flagged. And you've got, you know, the two Mercedes and the Red Bull trying to get past you. It's not a good moment, that's for sure. And then here, push myself too hard again. Trying to conquer that corner flat out. And then just completely took the front right wheel off. Really not a good moment. And I just decided to call it.
Team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
So yeah, I decided to call it at that point. I thought, I'm fighting a losing battle. I've been lapped by the race leaders. Not that I was anticipating scoring points anyway, but I just hated this weekend so much, driving around Spain with a really, really bad car, let's be honest.
This round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the drivers' championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Nikita Mazepin gets my vote today.
Let's move on to the constructors. No change in the top spot, but with today's points, their hold on the lead is getting weaker. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Unfortunately, next I believe is Azerbaijan. Some of you might be wondering where Portimao is and Imola.
Thanks so much for the invitation to your HQ. Let's have a little chat about the team's performance this season.
We'll let this interview with Buxton play out.
Facilities seem to have stalled. Is there no more room for improvement, or are you prioritising other areas?
So yeah, these interviews I do enjoy.
The second driver seems to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development?
But they can be a bit intrusive when you're trying to record a voiceover for a video.
Well, thanks a lot for inviting us here. It's been fantastic.
Alrighty, so yeah, it was meant to be Portimao and Imola next, but unfortunately, I didn't have those in the game when I recorded this. Bear in mind, this was recorded back in, where are we now? November. So I think these were recorded back in July, August time. So next up is Azerbaijan, I believe. I might have got that wrong even. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Sorry that my driving is so bad, but it will get better, I promise. Do hit the like button though if you enjoyed the video. And of course, if you're enjoying the series, feel free to hit a dislike as well if you thought my driving was awful. I mean, I think it's awful, but that's my opinion. Besides all that, drop some comments down below. Let me know what parts of the car and the team I should be focusing on developing. And besides all that, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon.